Cleveland. It's a game week in Jacksonville. The preseason is shorter than it's ever been, but we at least have preseason games, unlike last year. Hello and welcome to Action Sports Jax's First and 10 training camp. I'm Brent Martineau. Jaguars off today, but the storylines just don't stop. The story here in Jacksonville is what's going on with second-year cornerback C.J. Henderson. It's a bit of a mystery right now. He's practiced once this training camp. COVID-19 protocols kept him out for a bit. Then he came back, and yesterday missed practice for personal reasons. Reports says he is on the trade block. A lot of unknowns around the former Gator right now. The curiosity around Henderson started when the Jaguars drafted Tyson Campbell with the 33rd overall pick in April's draft. Now it looks like it's a good thing they did. Campbell can play the outside corner spot or nickel as well. He's gradually getting better in his first NFL camp, and depending on what happens with Henderson, the Jags may need him to make a big impact right away.
Tyson Campbell is a very fast guy that plays. The reason we drafted him, he never panics because he's got elite speed, and he's been really good. You know, he had a tough day on special teams yesterday, but defensively, he's been doing very well. We're glad that we got him.
Well, that's a good sign for the Jaguars just in case. The Jags have depth at corner. Campbell, along with free agent pickup Shaq Griffin. Trey Herndon can play multiple positions and has experience. Sidney Jones was good last year and is having a nice training camp so far this year. Back to Sunday in the Bank. Jags practice for a couple of hours in front of fans in the scorching heat. Travis Etienne making some nice catches. Keep an eye on number 1. K'Lavon Chaisson starting to pick up some momentum on the field as well. A lot of good stories at Camp Urban so far. The most important story, that's about that guy, number 16. Stacked back-to-back really good days on Saturday and Sunday after a somewhat shaky week of practice. Part of the rookie roller coaster. How much will Trevor play on Saturday? How much will the starters play this entire preseason? Urban Meyer has a plan and will have some help deciding on playing time.
I'm going to really rely on our veteran coaches. Tomorrow, we're going to spend about 2 hours just discussing Saturday's game. And, you know, I guess the veteran team sometimes only play one series, the vets, and then I have an idea, but tomorrow I'm going to have a much better idea. And I'm going to lean on Bevel and Schott and Warhop and Joe Cullen to really just do what's right by our players.
You're home of the Jaguars right here. Action Sports Shack, CBS 47 and Fox 30. Our first countdown to kickoff is Saturday night at 6:30. It is game time. That takes you right to kickoff. Brian Sexton, Bucky Brooks in the booth. I'll be on the sideline. 7 o'clock kickoff on CBS 47. Of course, I'll have plenty of post-game reaction on Action Sports Shack's primetime as well.
And college football rivalries everywhere. Drivers, start your dadgum engines.
Bobby Bowden, known for national titles and wins around football. It almost feels like he coined that phrase right there, dadgum, even to help get a race going at Daytona. The memorial continues to grow outside of Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, where flowers surround the Bobby Bowden statue. The love and celebration continues to pour in for the legendary Bobby Bowden. The Florida State football coach died Sunday morning at the age of 91, and he will be celebrated for the next few days and obviously for weeks and years to come. And look at the reaction around the football world. Clemson's Dabo Swinney says he was the model. He was such a great example of not losing sight of the main thing, a man of faith, a great husband. He said this in July. Tonight he had some more profound words to say at a media session in Clemson as he took a lot of time to recognize what Bobby Bowden meant to him and his coaching career. Danny Warfel, of course, played for the Gators, but celebrates a legendary father, coach, and man of faith. The Jaguars jumped in on the conversation as well. Trey Thomas, former player, rival coach Steve Spurrier, and who can forget, right, the Florida State-Miami days. How good were those? Canes football acknowledging Bobby Bowden as well. Bowden will be celebrated and remembered later this week in Tallahassee. Gene Deckerhoff joined us yesterday to remember Bowden. Deckerhoff has been the voice of the Noles since 1979.
Every coach in the business, Bobby would never decline an opportunity to talk, not only to players, but to coaches, because he got in the coaching business. He needed somebody to give him advice, to mentor him. And I think the legacy of Bobby Bowden will live on forever and ever. I mean, 3 of his 4 sons are in the coaching business. Mm-hmm. I think the 2 daughters might have wanted to get in the coaching business too, but one was a teacher, one was a lawyer. But that's the effect that Bobby had on everybody he was around. Everybody was buddy, everybody was gal. I guess in this day and age you could still say gal because that's what Bobby would say. And, yeah, buddy, how you doing, buddy? And he'd never forget a face.
That's Gene Deckerhoff. Sunday, we did a special 2-hour celebration of Bobby Bowden on ESPN 690. You can find it on the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 podcast as well. We had interviews with Deckerhoff, Charlie Ward, Leon Washington, Greg Jones, many, many more. And tomorrow at 3 o'clock on ESPN 690, Dan Maury will join us to remember Bowden as well. The pride of the Jaguars is getting a bit of a facelift. Looks a little different up there. Still waiting for the letters to go up for the names. Baselli, Brunell, Smith, Taylor, and the Weavers. But it will be a new look at the stadium in 2021. Say hey to my buddy Tim Houston. I'm getting old around here, you know. Been sharing Tim's story for about a decade on Action Sports Jackson. It's a good one. An inspirational young man. Lost his left leg when he was 3 weeks old. It hasn't stopped him a bit. He's made a visit to Action. There he is in the green shirt. He's running triathlons to Gate River runs. Most recently played wheelchair basketball. He's a baller, too, like one of the best players in the country for his age. Last week, Tim verbally committed to play wheelchair basketball at Alabama and obviously study in Tuscaloosa as well. Good luck to him. Very cool. Congrats to the Houston family. Deshaun Watson back at practice for the Houston Texans. He just didn't show up for the last handful of days, and many in Houston believe he's played his last snap as a Texan. That would change the AFC South completely going forward, wouldn't it? Who will trade for him is the curiosity, because he has more than 20 allegations of sexual assault and harassment. Is someone willing to do that and trade for a very talented quarterback and give up compensation as well? How about this from over the weekend? It was Hall of Fame weekend in Canton, Ohio. Of course, Brian Dawkins already in the Hall of Fame, and he tweeted out, okay, let's count them up. That's one and now two Hall of Famers from Jacksonville, Raines High School, 2. It's pretty cool, right? That is Harold Carmichael, by the way, part of the 2020 class, and he was honored on Saturday night with the rest of that class because last year the Hall of Fame induction ceremony was postponed due to COVID, of course. That's going to do it for First and 10 training camp here on a Monday night. It's a game week here in Jacksonville, of course, culminating with Saturday's game against the Cleveland Browns on CBS 47. Jags back at practice tomorrow. They practice Wednesday and Thursday as well. That's not open to the public at all. And they'll have a day off Friday, or at least have a walkthrough before the game on Saturday. So it's on, folks, in Jacksonville. Get to watch that guy in a real game in a handful of days. Have a good night.
Thanks for watching Action Sports Jacks First and 10 Training Camp. Sponsored by Ann Najar and Levine, Accident Attorneys.